How are you breathing now? Let's take a couple of minutes to dive more deeply into that divine space where life is waiting for us to show up as pure spirit. That it takes us beyond all form, conditions, opinions, and links us directly with the first cause, God. So I invite you to close your eyes if you're comfortable in doing that, and let's just take some deep breaths. On that in-breath, slowly affirm quietly to yourself, God is. And on the out-breath, I am. So the silent affirmation is, God is. I am. And so as we enter into the rhythm of this effortless breathing, we find ourselves descending down, 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 more deeply into that spacious place where infinite intelligence resides formlessly. Imagine that form that we live in, this body, houses this greater awareness that there's more to us than what we see, what we think and feel. And so we allow ourselves to be centered in that place of equanimity where we're not seduced by what's going on around us or even what's going on with our physical bodies. We find that place of perfect balance. Not too much, not too little, not too in, not too out. In the middle is just right. So we breathe and we enter that place of the secret most high. Nothing there competes for our attention. Not the past, not the future, not the world. We dedicated ourselves solely and completely in this moment to a deeper realization of our oneness with God, with Source. And we just breathe and settle into this awareness for a few moments. If there's any thoughts or emotions or feelings attached to those begging for our attention, rather than try to deny it or push it away, let's just allow it to see what it is and say thank you. Thank you for sharing. Now return from whence you've come. And we sink back into that place of deeper awareness. God is, I am. God is, I am. We breathe. remembering that we are triune beings, spiritual, mental, and physical, we remind ourselves in this moment that to find perfect balance between those three aspects of our lives requires intention. So let's just for a moment explore where there may be a place in our lives that we're out of balance in our relationships, work, physical well-being. Where do we need to call our energy back and find that center again? The answer comes. It is there. That's the call. And so the response, the reply is, yes, I bring myself into balance right now. I find that place of perfect equanimity between spirit, mind, and body, knowing that as I establish that perfect balance within, the world around me must reflect my experience of this truth. God is, I am. This is the truth about me spiritually, it's the truth about me emotionally and mentally and physically. I feel at home in this awareness. And as I breathe again, deeply, mindfully, I accept this sense of wholeness as it rises into the field of my awareness and it is incorporated in every area of my life that balance is required. God is at the center of my relationships. God is at the center of my work. God is at the center of my physical being. And it's all in perfect balance. I listen, I hear, I respond. There's nothing more that I can ask for than this at this moment. To remember the way in, God is, and the way out, I am. Not too much, not too little, not too in, not too out. In the middle. Just we give thanks knowing this is so. The universe has ears and has heard these words and agrees, and so it is. Until next time, my friends, peace.
Welcome to Unity Spiritual Center here in Hamilton, and this is our weekly live stream where we are bringing you tools for a spiritual life and affirmations sometimes for your way to a better life. My name is Reverend Ann Ahokangas, and this is Emilio Zaris, our singer extraordinaire and wonderful soloist. So I hope that you'll enjoy today's presentation. We actually have a special guest who I will introduce shortly. But let's begin with our monthly theme song, which is My Life is a Prayer.
What if a prayer is not a plea? A desperate call with tears that fall on bended knee, but breathing out and breathing in, it's God and me that lives and breathes, my trusted friend. My life is a prayer that God is praying. My thoughts are words that God is saying. My laughter is the sound of angels playing. My life is a prayer that God is praying. What if today I had the chance to move and sway? God leads the way in my life's dance. What if I knew without a doubt, no need to fear, God is right here within, without. My life is a prayer that God is praying. My thoughts are words that God is saying. My laughter is the sound of angels playing. My life is a prayer that God is praying. My thoughts are words that God is saying. My laughter is the sound of angels playing. My life is a prayer
And now for our next song, My Soul is Welcome Here.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. You're in the right place at the right time. You are just where you're supposed to be. You're at the right place at the right time. You are just where you're supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Woo! Oh, yeah. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. Your soul is welcome here. Our souls are welcome here. Our souls are welcome here. Your soul is welcome here. Your soul is welcome here. My 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 soul is welcome here. Sing it with me. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here.
That's a great song to lead into opening prayer. So close your eyes if that's comfortable. And just feel yourself comfortable exactly where you are. And join with me in consciousness as I speak these words as our opening prayer. I know my soul is welcome here. I know who I am is right and perfect, and I'm here by divine appointment. For Spirit is all that is, and all that Spirit has created is good and very good. And I am one with Spirit, so I must be good and very good. So I claim my good. I claim my understanding of my good. And I know that all is right in the world. And I know that I am empowered with the ability to be able to make choices. And my choices are what lead me and guide me in my life as I follow the prompts from Spirit. I know that as it feels good and feels right, that I am following Spirit's call. So I breathe into this moment. And just let out everything unlike it. Grateful to be here, grateful to always be at choice, grateful that Spirit is at the helm, and grateful that I allow it. I let go and I let it be so. Please join with me in affirming, and so it is. And let's sing another song. There is Only Love by Karen Drucker.
this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when it seems I've lost my way, I would go inside and quiet my mind, and I'd hear Spirit say, there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only there is only love.
And now the moment you've been waiting for. We have Reverend Dr. Dennis Merritt Jones introducing us to this idea of what would Buddha do? And who is Dennis Merritt Jones? In 2019, Dennis's latest book, The Art of Abundance, 10 Rules for a Prosperous Life, was published by Penguin Random House, and he received the prestigious Nautilus Silver Award, designed to highlight books that offer new ideas and options for a better world for everyone. So let's really give a warm welcome to Dennis Merritt Jones as he brings us What Would Buddha Do? Welcome, Dr. Dennis Merritt Jones.
Looking back through the pages of my life, so young, so restless. Hey, my friends, I'm Dennis Merritt Jones, and I want to thank you for inviting me into your home today to share these ideas. I also want to thank your spiritual community for hosting me to come into your home to share these ideas. Before I begin, I want to ask you one simple question, which I always do at the beginning of my lessons, and that is this: how are you breathing? How are you breathing right now? The reason I ask this question, and the reason I think it's so important, is that when we're consciously aware of our breath, it can anchor us, it tethers us to the present moment. And it is in the present moment, as we'll discover today, where life is waiting for us to show up, to be open to receive the gifts that it's always waiting to bestow upon us. And so the question, how are you breathing? I take it very seriously. I even had a tattoo put on my underside of my arm, which is a Sanskrit symbol for breath. So it reminds me on a regular basis when I look at it, stop and take a breath. So I invite you right now to stop and take a breath before we dive in. The title of my lesson today is, What Would Buddha Do? It seems appropriate with breathing and mindfulness and all of these practices that come into alignment with the teaching of Buddhism. The subtitle of my lesson is, How to Stay Balanced in an Imbalanced World. And you probably would tend to agree with me right now that the world is kind of feels imbalanced, and it's easy for us to get sucked into the drama sometimes where our lives become way out of balance in one area or another. And that's really what I want to talk to you about. This is illustrated beautifully by the story of Buddha on his search for enlightenment. And what he discovered is the messages I want to share with you today. Buddha was searching through the wilderness for years, and he was so focused on wanting to discover the key to enlightenment, to total enlightenment, that he sat underneath a banyan tree, and he committed to not moving from that tree until he received full enlightenment. So there he is, week after week after week. He hadn't eaten, he hadn't drunk any water, he was emaciated, and he's meditating, and he hears this ruckus going on through the forest. And so with his very worn out body, he drags his body through the forest into the opening of a meadow, and he sees two musicians in the clearing trying to string a guitar or a stringed instrument. And one musician is saying to the other, make it tighter, or the strings will rattle. And the other musician says, no, not too tight, because if you do it too tight, they'll break. Looser. And the other musician would say, no, if you do it too loose, they'll rattle, and you won't be able to find the melodies that you want to play. So back and forth they argued, not too tight, not too loose, not too tight, not too loose. And one of the musicians said, tune it right in the middle. That's perfect. And the Buddha heard that. And that was the moment he received enlightenment. The key to life, the middle pathway. Not too tight, not too loose, not too in, not too out, not too up, not too down. In the middle is just right. And as a musician, having played guitar for the last 50 years of my life, I fully get how important it is to have the strings right in tuned perfectly, not too tight and not too loose. When one of those strings gets pulled out of alignment and it's out of balance with the others, it makes a horrible sound. So I think the point is that each of the strings on the string instrument that the musicians were playing could be thought of as different areas of our lives. One string might be relationships. One string might be our health, our physical well-being. Another string might be our spirituality, and on and on. So there's different areas of our lives that when they get out of alignment, when they get out of balance, either by trying to make them too exact or not exact enough, too tight or too loose, life becomes disharmonious. And that's really not a happy place to be. So the question is, to create a life worth living requires an exquisite balance of energy. Everything we know boils down to energy. And to find that exquisite balance of energy in multiple areas of our lives where we witness energy flowing in a way that it's not too much energy, not too little energy, just enough energy to keep it in the middle and balance just right. That energy moving through our relationships, through our physical bodies, through our careers, not too much, not too little, in the middle is just right. And the question has to be, how do we achieve that balance? That sounds like a really tall order. And the Buddha had some tools that he offered us that would help us learn how to find that balance. One of the key practices is the practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness is a practice of bringing your mind back into your body and being present in the moment. You notice your body can't be any place but the present moment. It's always in the present moment. But where is your mind a lot of the time? It's either out in front of you or behind you. And so mindfulness is a practice of breathing and bringing your mind back into your body and being present with what is in the moment. So that literally is what mindfulness is. In Sanskrit, the word is smriti, and what it means is remember, to come back. Come back to what? The present moment. Then, once we're in the present moment with mindfulness, then we actuate our mind to focus on awareness. Mindfulness and awareness are two different stories. Mindfulness is being present in the moment, and awareness is what we focus on in the present moment. So we have to incorporate and find a balance between those two elements. See? We know that there is an inner observer. Some would refer to it as a silent witness that is always watching itself through our eyes, watching life. And this inner observer is above our human ego. And so it does not have any attachment to judgment of any kind. The inner observer, the silent witness, perceives what is with absolute equanimity. Equanimity really means perfect balance. Equanimity is to be so conscious and aware in the moment that you're aware that you're being drawn toward any particular thing favorably or repulsed by it unfavorably. And equanimity is to be able to find that middle ground where you're aware that you're neither too much or too little. Equanimity is finding that perfect balance. And in order to do that, we have to understand that part of us that lives with equanimity can never be disturbed by human emotions. It is not affected by human emotions or outer circumstances, either positive or negative. So equanimity, when we stand with equanimity and mindfulness through awareness, we are able to observe what is in the moment and not get sucked into the drama of it. Now take a deep breath. When we're in that place of equanimity, we're less likely to be moved by the opinions of others or appearances, and we move more with discernment, which is when the silent witness feeds back to us at a human level what we need to know in order to put that discernment to work in the thing called choice and how we begin to integrate what is in the moment with our mind, spirit, and body. There's a great analogy between understanding the difference between judgment and discernment. Judgment always has emotions attached to it. It has opinions attached to it. And on the other hand, a discernment, when we're discerning something, it's an observation without an opinion. It's just seeing what is. Ah, I see. So one of the ways that we can begin to learn to live with mindfulness and awareness is to be monitoring ourselves to see if we are judging or if we're being discerning, and there's a big difference. And we'll talk more about that as we move through this next part of the lesson. Because we're triune beings, meaning there's 3 points of balance that we have to strike in our daily lives in order to find that perfect expression of life. Triune beings, spiritually, mentally, physically. So, first let's talk about our finding balance in our spiritual nature. Some of us could use a bit more praying in our lives, a bit more focusing on spiritual concepts. And maybe some of us are overdoing it in that area. We're so focused on that nothing else matters. Not too much, not too little. In the middle is just right. The reality is we couldn't be any more spiritual if we tried. We're 100% spirit. So practicing spirituality is simply practicing the awareness through mindfulness that you are a spiritual being. Irrespective of what's going on around you, you're no less spiritual. Whether you're in the mountaintop or in a valley, you're no less spiritual. So you can't be any more spiritual than you already are. That's the first key to remember when it comes to finding balance with our spirituality. Don't struggle so much. Every day, every moment, every place you are, you're having a spiritual experience. Whether it's in your home, or in your office, or on the freeway, washing dishes, changing the baby's diapers, there in that moment, you're having a spiritual experience, whether you realize it or not. So begin to focus with mindfulness and equanimity that we can integrate spirituality into our daily lives in a balanced way. Not too much, not too little. You can't be too spiritual because you're 100% spirit, but you can obsess about it to a point where you neglect other areas of your life where you need to be putting some energy too. So breathe into your spirituality and know that it's there as part of who you are, whether you know it or not, whether you like it or not. You're a spiritual being, as Chopra said, having a human experience. So find that balance with your spiritual nature. Find a balance between that and your human nature. The point is that if you're trying too hard to be spiritual, relax. And if you're not trying hard enough, move your feet. Get off your butts, and that's B-U-T-T-S, and but as in excuses too. Continue to find ways to practice spirituality that integrates the awareness of that you're a spiritual being into your everyday activities. Whatever you're doing, there's no less of the presence of God in that activity if you're aware of it. Balance, not too much, not too little. The second aspect of our triune nature is mind. We are mental beings. Have you noticed how busy your mind can be 24/7? And that can be a very exhausting thing. Sometimes we are addicted to keeping our minds busy because we're afraid if our minds become too still, we won't know what to do with it. And so we're addicted to keeping our minds busy with things. So again, not too much, not too little. What does it mean to disengage your mind? As mental beings, we too often give ourselves permission to think things that we don't really believe. Maybe that's the best way. TV, media. We need to sometimes learn how to disengage from those things, to pull back from those things, because we can overstimulate ourselves. That's too much, not too little. Does that mean that you go off into a cave and meditate for 24/7 or disassociate with the world? No, of course not. Of course not. With mindfulness and equanimity, we can witness what we're feeling in our mind and our bodies. And once we begin to realize what we're feeling, we can also focus on what we're feeding our minds. And if we don't like what we're feeding our minds or our bodies, which comes up next, we can challenge it. We can challenge it. If we're aware of what we're feeding our mind by watching the media, what's going on in the world, buying too much into the opinions of others. Let's face it, some of us are binge watching the news right now. And most of it's filled with ain't it bad. And so maybe this is a place where you reel it in a little and you say, not too much. Not too little. Refocus some of your attention on other things. Read a good book. Do things that bring your mind into balance with equanimity. Monitor where your mind wants to take you. And when you find that it's taking you down a dark alley in your mind, refuse to go down there. Find a street in your mind that's well lit, that has purpose and meaning. We're also emotional beings, which is really the bridge between our minds and our bodies. Our emotions are the connective tissue that ties our minds with our bodies together. And with mindfulness and awareness, equanimity and mental awareness or emotional awareness, we can track our thoughts and our beliefs. We can track and thought our beliefs. And once we become mindful that we're thinking creatures, we can. This is the most amazing thing of all: is we can have a thought or a feeling or emotion and step outside of that thought or feeling and observe it, and be in awe of the fact that you can look at a thought that you're having, look at a feeling that you're experiencing, and if you don't like it, change it. Not too much, not too little, not too in, not too out, not too up, not too down, in the middle. It's just right. How are you breathing? Yeah, me too. Now, the third aspect of ourselves as this triune unity of spirit, mind, and body is, of course, body, the physical aspect of who we are. Have you noticed how much you take your body for granted? Yeah, it's just there, and we forget that we're living in this cherished, beautiful, precious house that has been gifted to us for a limited amount of time. A limited amount of time. And we take it for granted in so many ways. Now, at the physical level, our body is a very interesting house that we live in. It's simply a carbon-based, biodegradable, disposable vessel that we ride around in while we're on the planet. But we still need it. You'd have a hell of a time having a spiritual experience in the world without a body to have it through. And so while we have bodies, we need to find balance with them, which means we have to learn how to take care of them, maintain them in a way that makes sense. Well, it's like your automobile. Your automobile moves you from point A to point B, right? Your body moves you from point A to point B as well. The question is, do you maintain your automobile? Do you change the oil and rotate the tires and do all the things that you need to do to keep it moving and operating, functioning in a good way? Of course you do. We all do. Are our bodies any less important than our automobiles? With mindfulness, if you listen to your body, it will tell you. It'll tell you what it needs. If you're mindful and you're aware and you're present in the moment and you're listening, your body will tell you what it needs in order to find its perfect balance, to perfect assimilations, utilization, and elimination of all energy that wants to move through your body. Okay. So you have to learn to listen. Now, that's mindfulness. With equanimity, you get a chance to discern what is coming up in your awareness as being fact or fiction, and whether it needs to be heeded and followed through with, or it's just a thought that you want to let pass. So equanimity is to be able to observe the reports that are coming in from your body and see what's true and what's not, what's over-exaggerated and what's not, and then take the appropriate actions. Not too much, not too little, not too in, not too out. Find the balance in your body. Honor it, listen to it, but don't let it control you or use you. You use your body in a conscious, intentional way. And the second tier, by the way, of our body is really the body of our relationships. So the question you have to find there to address as well is, how balanced are you in your relationships? Too much, not too little? Are you over-engaged in some relationships that rob you from time that you should put into other relationships? Some people put so much time into their work, they forget about the body of the relationship called family. Some people are so focused on family and hanging out with cherished loved ones that they forget that there's other aspects of what their body in the world is, body of work, body of play, etc. Not too much, not too little, not too in, not too out. So, how are you breathing? How are you breathing? This is what I would say to you. The next time that you feel like you're being pulled off axis or you feel like you're being pulled out of balance by what's going on around you in the world, in any area of your life, and there's tons of things right now working hard at pulling us out of balance just because it's competing for our attention. Stop. When you find yourself in that place, stop. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself, what would Buddha do? He'd breathe. He'd find a place between mindfulness, awareness, and equanimity, balance. Not too much, not too little, in the middle. It's just right. So breathe today. Breathe deeply and enjoy each breath as a gift of life that it is. Come back to your center. Come back to the present moment. Find your balance in the present moment. That's where your point of power is. You have no power in tomorrow or yesterday. This, in the present moment, is where your power lies. Engage with it consciously, mindfully, with full awareness. Balance. Find your balance. Find your balance. Not too much, not too out, not too in. Just in the middle is right. I want to thank you for sharing your day with me. I hope that you found value in what we talked about. And I also want to encourage you to support your spiritual community for bringing this message to you. Support them with your tithes, your gifts, your checks, your service, whatever you can do to help your community continue to keep on doing what it's doing. If you want to connect with me, just go to my website, dennismerrittjones.com. Got all kinds of goodies there. You download free too. So I look forward to talking to you again soon. Until then, peace. Over and out.
Thank you, Dennis. That was excellent. Didn't you find that was really good? So now let's sing now. Okay.
It is dawn. I am where I belong. I am healed. I am whole. I am waking. Now I can see. I can get all I need. It is here within me for the taking. Now I unfold and I feel in my soul I am free, I am whole, I am making every day. I was lost and alone like a leaf on the ocean, tossed here and there, feeling fear and despair, mixed emotions. Then I woke up one day, I decided to pray. I stopped running away. Now I believe I can give and receive endless love, endless peace, endless pleasure. Now only faith from my heart radiates all the world I embrace without measure every day. This I vow here and now. I am love. I am life. I
So like Dr. Dennis likes to say, did you remember to breathe? So let's take a moment and just take a deep breath in. Let's do that one more time. And let's sing Through It All Is God by Dedry Francois.
before I speak. I can choose to be strong or surrender at your feet. I can rage like a fire or soothe like a breeze. All of this is all of you and me, because in and through it all is God. In and through it all is love. I am here to be a mirror, to reflect the divine in you. In and through it all is God. Life can play a soft, sweet melody or screech in tragedy. It can wrap you in its arms or bring you humbly to your knees. It can bring so much suffering or joy and harmony. All of this is all of you and me. Because in and through it all is God. In and through it all is love. I am here to be a mirror, to reflect the divine in you. In and through it all is God. It's what it takes to live this human experience. It's what it takes to awaken to our souls. It's what it takes to realize our wholeness. Because with God's love in and through it all, we are whole. In and through it all is God. In and through it all is love. I am here to be a mirror, to reflect the divine in you. Because in and through it all is God. Oh, in and through it all is God. In and through it all is love. I am here to be a mirror, to reflect the divine in you. In and through it all is God. In and through it all is God.
And so it is. So take a deep breath with me. And let it out with a sigh. Ah. Let's do that one more time. Ah. In and through it all is God. And one of the spiritual tools that I have to connect with Spirit is my breath. And I know that even my intentional breath is prayer. And so as I breathe in and exhale with deliberate intention, I'm centered in Spirit. For Spirit is right here. I know without a doubt that I am one with the all that is. So again, I take a deep breath in and I let it go. Centering in Spirit, centering in love, centering in all the good that is available to me now. Releasing all that no longer serves me with my out breath, and breathing in all the love and all the support and all the wisdom that I might ever require. Again, breathing in and let it all go. And in this moment, with a grateful heart, I let go and I let Spirit be at the helm. And so it is. And let's finish with this beautiful song. Name it and claim it. And you can dance too, if you want.
Well, I name it and I claim it, and then I see it everywhere. Well, I name it and I claim it, and then I see it everywhere. Well, I name love and I claim love, and then I see it everywhere. Well, I name love and I claim love, and then I see it everywhere. 'Cause it's a mine, 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 the endless and everlasting love of the divine. Oh, I name it and I claim it, and then I see it everywhere. Sing it with me. Yes, I name it and I claim it, and then I see it everywhere. 'Cause it's a mine, 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 the endless and everlasting love of the divine. So I name it and I claim it, and then I see it everywhere. So I name it and I claim it, and then I see it everywhere. Yes, I see it everywhere. Then I see it everywhere.
I see it everywhere. Thank you so much for joining us again this week. I hope that you enjoyed Dr. Dennis. He is a wonderful writer. I hope that you go to his website and check out the different books that he has. So from Emilio and I, have a wonderful week, and we will see you next week. Bye for now.